Hello, everyone. This is Boyo and The Beard. I'm Boyo. This is The Beard. B, how you doing tonight?
Good, ready to get into some things. I think we left off AFC last week, and I think we're going to do some NFC. Got a pal that we're going to bring on here shortly, and there he is,
A
pal.
special guest, Pow. How you doing today, Ben?
What's going on, fellas? Good to see you.
Um,
Good to see you. Doing well.
yeah. So Tay is a lifelong Eagles fan, and we're gonna bring him in. Had a pretty good season here last year. Weren't able to take it across the line, but I think we're gonna get a bit of a recap in regards to how the season went, free agency, what we're looking for in the NFL draft, and then what he's expecting next year. To be fair, so Tay, you want to kick us off in regards to the Philadelphia Eagles in general? Who are some of your favorite players over the years? How'd you get into the Eagles? Being seen as though you're not from Philadelphia, is that right?
Right. No relation to Philly whatsoever.
Okay.
So I've been Eagles fan for 23, 24 years now. So most of my life. Didn't ever got the connection with KC when I was younger. My parents, no one in the family supported, Kansas City or sports really that much. So it wasn't like an in-house thing to naturally acquire the Chiefs as my team. So went with the Eagles. I like the color green. That was pretty much the reason why. The players that got me into it, of course, Brian Dawkins, Hall of Famer,
Yep,
absolute legend, one of the best to ever do it, still to this day.
for sure.
He was the main reason why, I stuck with it. I liked what he was about. I liked how he played. Just passion and aggression and hurting people.
Out there murdering people.
Yeah, really. So he's just so much fun to watch. And that whole, the early 2000s team, for me, was a great roller coaster ride. Could never bring home the trophy in that time, too. Had Andy for quite some time there. Big Red, Big Green, he used to be.
Big Green, yeah.
Couldn't quite bring it home for us, but, the McNabb, Westbrook, T.O.,
yeah.
Dawkins, Trotter, all the boys back in the day.
Oh,
just a ton of fun to watch. And
Had the Madden cheat code there for a little bit. Mike Vick.
Mike Vick, yep. Mike Vick was
Is that him lurking up there on the wall?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff going on here. Just old team photos from Mike Vick, Shady Snow Game.
Yeah,
probably can't see that well. Yeah. Shady Auto from the Snow Game.
Nice.
If you know on that game.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just an assortment of collectibles and stuff. But it's like I said, longtime fan, continue to be fan. That's the gist of it, really.
Yeah, I think in general you guys had a pretty good season. I was watching the first couple games here last night, and I think you guys snagged AJ Brown in the off season. Kind of maybe a little bit of a surprise trade. A lot of I think at one point Veach was talking about snagging him later on. I think that comes out this year, but he makes a huge impact these first couple games. He was a monster to watch.
Yeah. Definitely out of left field. I don't think anyone saw that coming. I didn't. I remember when I saw the alert, and I was just like, couldn't believe what I was reading, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no way, And then you get all the backstory that Hurts and Brown were friends in college and had a little bit of rivalry going. So just how he being able to bring those two guys together, we saw what happened. There's a lot of question marks with Hurts' throwing ability going into the season.
Yeah,
I think he I would assume all of it.
Put that to bed, right?
Oh yeah. I think that's fair, right? So pairing him with Devontae Smith, Slim Reaper, Dallas Goedert, they should be pretty fun to watch for a little while.
A couple of years anyway. Yeah.
Well, you got to think the Titans are killing themselves, not willing to give AJ Brown the bag, and I think this was career year this year.
Yeah, it was actually oddly enough. Yeah,
I know he had some decent years in Tennessee, but they weren't willing to pay the bag, and someone else was, and it paid off. Got you to the big game. It's just probably that last 30 minutes that the demand, but still great season
for sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I know the old GM over there in Tennessee got fired after the Philly game.
Oh yeah,
could have been a coincidence, probably not.
I think Vrabel said at one point he was pretty pissed off that that AJ Brown was gone, because a big part of the offense, obviously a game breaker. That man was going nuts all year long.
Yeah.
Well, the other big one in the offseason you guys had, defensive side of the ball. Was that a 5th rounder for CJ?
I believe it was. Yeah, it was a 5th, I believe.
And did you trade for Bradbury, or did you sign him to a 1-year deal?
Bradbury was signed to a 1-year. Yep.
Okay.
Bradbury was signed. Giants let him go.
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay him. They didn't think he was worth the money. Ewell said, "Thank you very much.
Pro Bowl year.
Take him, and we will lock him in with Darius Slay on the opposite side, and all pro corners there. Just
all pro for the 2 big guys that you guys signed.
Yeah.
Offense and defense, and then my opinion, defensive team leader, probably team leader as well, just CJ. I know Hurts is the main team leader on offense, but I would say CJ's, in my opinion, would be the guy that I would look to.
CJ?
Yeah.
For who? Defense?
Defensive leader, yeah. I feel
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson?
Yeah.
That was on 1 year. That's just a 1-year deal for him. I do think he had a pretty good impact in the locker room and on the field. He does a lot of talking, so it went a long way. But no, I mean, defensive leaders are the same. It's been for some time now, which Fletcher Cox, BG, Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
They've been there. Brandon Graham's on his 15th year in Philly.
Snagged him back again this year, right?
Yeah, turned back the clock this year. I think he had 12 sacks coming off of torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Just
getting it done.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So I think Fletch and BG are the mainstays on the defensive side. We were able to bring both of them back on 1-year deals. I think kind of a hometown deal type of thing. So it's great to see that.
In general, what were some of the kind of the big highlights of your season? Which games were you amped up to watch?
Oof, man,
all of them.
Yeah, going into the season, I would say I was feeling pretty good. Of course, looking at the roster, trying not to listen to the noise that was like Dream Team 2.0.
Yeah.
I know if you, Brian or Beard, you probably remember.
The Vince Young and
and
all the guys past their prime. Dream Team 2.0.
Yeah, that was that wasn't a lot of fun for me.
No,
that ended up being an absolute bust. So those words were getting tossed around. And I was like, oh man, and they started getting in my head a little bit. I was like, oh, not again, Yeah. But no, I mean, I'd say, I would say come like probably week 4 or week 5, I was feeling pretty good. I was like, they're not losing. They're just gonna keep winning. They're gonna keep winning. Fast forward to Washington. We clobbered them the first go around.
24-8 game.
With Wentz getting sacked about 13 times. Just a little bit of mistreat of our previous quarterback there, but football's football. So fast forward to the second round. Didn't look very good. Offense was just not clicking. Couldn't get off the field on defense. They were just running down the clock on us. Had a couple questionable play, calls.
Oh yeah, that end of the game, the sack, but he slid down, questionable in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Celebrating like he just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that dude, he was nuts. He was off his gaff.
A lot of Eagles Twitter was throwing him a lot of shade after that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which whatever. I mean, you won the game. Congrats. You beat the Eagles. You weren't supposed to win that game. Be happy, but you looked like a scrub for that. But
to be fair, that could have been the Commanders' Super Bowl.
True.
this year.
That is theirs. Yeah, I mean that could be their version of the Super Bowl.
Going to be there for a while.
Yeah,
Levels to that, but they definitely 32-21, and he's celebrating like he.
Well,
Like he
about
took
made the
it home.
playoffs. They about made the playoffs. Still, to be fair,
Yeah.
nothing short of that. But yeah, I would say overall season, just feeling good about it. Just confident. I haven't been that confident of a team in a long, in an Eagles team ever.
Yeah.
Where I just went into the game, I was like, they're gonna win, right? Like I genuinely, wholeheartedly believed they were gonna win every game they went into. Bar the end of the season when Hurts went out.
Yeah,
and then there was like a little
start Minshew twice and 2 losses, but I won't even consider that. Keep your guy healthy and
right.
Still,
I don't think it was this. It was wrapped up at that point, so it's like, and then everyone was like, "Oh, they look terrible." It's like, well, Hurts isn't there.
Yeah,
the system.
Yeah,
Jalen, the system was not there, so can't believe the nonsense talking there. So,
well, yeah, he was a MVP race with Mahomes for most of the year, and then unfortunately
missed a couple games, and
and you're just automatically out. Essentially, is what that comes down to. Unfortunately,
yeah. No, both quarterbacks deserve to win it, right?
Yep.
And Hurts got hurt, so not really sure what would have happened at the end of the race, but both obviously showing that they were the two dogs this year at quarterback
all year. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Mahomes, of course, been doing it for 4 years now and 5 years.
5 years starting, 6 in the league.
5 years now. He's been being that dog. So hopefully it hurts, maybe, perhaps.
Well, Hurts definitely proved everyone
that guy
wrong
too.
this year.
Yeah.
So coming into the year was always, can you throw? Obviously proved everyone wrong. Adding big threat and top 10 receiver AJ Brown's definitely not going to hurt your stats at all.
No.
Just another guy to get open and win those one-on-one matchups, and I feel like that was a lot of the plays that they had were one-on-one matchups. They actually had receivers that could actually beat guys, because in previous years I felt like Slim Reaper double team bracketed, same with Goddard bracketed, and then you didn't really have anybody else to throw to.
Right.
You bring in top 10 receiver, and that just opens up
things up
more.
Right. Then it's well, what do you do then, right?
Yeah.
Who do you cover? Who do you double?
Well, then you have top 3 O-line, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For sure. Best 1-2, in my opinion, centers, Kelsey and Creed Humphrey.
Creed. Yep.
And then obviously you had the best right tackle in the league. So
yeah.
Lane. The other guys are just big monster dudes.
Yeah.
Dickerson's a young guy, all pro, I believe.
Yep, all pro. Yep. The entire line was all pro, first or second team all pro this year, and they all deserved it too.
Oh, 100%. Straight
Mailata, ex-rugby player, we drafted him in 2017 from international. Just like dude's 6'8", 380.
Yeah, just
runs like a 4.4.
Yeah.
It's just like we'll take a shot at him. So kudos to Jeff Stoutland, offensive line coach in Philly. Just worked him for 2 years straight, and then
some of his boys are just made differently.
Dude, yeah, it's just, and now he's killing it. All one of the top left tackles in the league.
92 percenters.
92 percenters. That's right. 92 percenters.
Yeah. But I think one thing you talked about, going back to kind of proving people wrong. Sirianni, kind of the same thing. Started out with that. That press conference here last year. Didn't look good. Jalen Hurts was being questioned as whether or not he could throw the ball. And I think underdogs going into this season, definitely big old chip on the shoulder. Definitely wanted to prove everyone that, I mean, they're not slouches. They showed it too. So big ups to all of Philly, to be fair.
Philly loves that underdog mentality. They thrive off of it. I mean,
don't know if they have it anymore.
Yeah, well, maybe not. But then again, who knows? They like to. I mean, there's still. I would think there's going to be as many questions going into next year as this year, as the whole who they play last year, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
They got a free ride last year. Well, it's like, well, there's grown men playing on both sides of the ball. I
Mhm.
tell you, I hate to tell you that.
Yeah, you don't.
it's
You don't
there's
make
no
the
free
schedule
games.
either. Yeah,
Right.
You don't make the schedule. You play who you
No.
play, and
You play who you play, and you win or you lose. I mean, that's just. I mean,
and again, it's so hard to go undefeated.
oh yeah.
Just in general, I think that's only ever happened 2 or 3 times, regular season wise, anyway. But yeah, they were scary all year. Obviously, they lost the Washington game, but I feel like that was one of those games at the end was going to be a trap game where you just don't show up. That just happens in all sports, in my opinion.
But boy, it does wonders for the bounce back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ain't nothing, losing the game that you shouldn't have lost. That'll change your mentality real quick.
For
it's almost
sure.
that wake up call. Of course, you'd want to win every game, but not the worst thing either to get that wake up call. Like, hey, we're good, but
Job's not done.
we're good, but yeah, job's not done. Yep.
No one gets a no one gets a trophy for the regular season.
Nope.
Leaders. I think you guys go into the playoffs, smack the mess out of the Giants.
Yeah. Told them who's boss. Beat them. Gave them the business 3 times this season. I think there's a lot of back and forth between the Giants players, of course, as rivals in division. Talking smack about the coach. A lot of Nick Sirianni hate coming out of the Giants with Julian Love. Maybe a little bit of chip on his shoulder because Brian Gable won Coach of the Year. Nick Sirianni's like, hey, what about me?
Yeah.
And all the guys are like, hey, what about our coach? What about us? Julian Love decided to say, hey, anyone can go in there and coach that team and be where they are now. It's like, okay. We'll see. So Giants, Boston killer.
Yeah.
Austin Scott, the New York Giant killer. He came running through and got another tutty against the Giants. I think that was I think Sirianni said after the fact that was just a dig at New York, bringing him in to score a touchdown just to add to the legacy of him. I think he scored like 14 touchdowns, and 11 of them are against New York in his career, which is just, I mean, pretty wild stats there.
For sure.
It's kind of the way everything is going with the rotation on running backs. Was that something that you were? I mean, fantasy owners, I don't think liked it at all.
No.
If you own Miles Sanders, if you, you didn't want to pick up Boston Scott, you didn't want to pick up Gainwell.
Yeah.
Was that something you got frustrated though? I mean, obviously, whoever scores, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But
no,
I know you had a lot of Eagles players on your fantasy football team. Hold strategy.
Hey.
I mean, there were some games though they looked like they could put up 50, 55 points if they didn't let off they could have gotten it on defense. They could have gotten it on offense. I mean, they had 538 points or something tied with the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely not the strategy going in was, telling myself, hey, don't draft all Eagles, right? Just because that's been my issue with fantasy is I just draft my players because it pains me to see someone beat me with my own guy, right?
Yeah,
like I can't. I hate that. And so it's like.
So you'll just lose.
I ended up making I ended up making some moves to acquire the boys. All right, we'll just say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean I said it going to season. It's like I'm not drafting Miles because I know he's not going to get all the points.
Yeah,
that's the way Eagles have always been. Is that especially on the running back position is you don't know who's going to score. You don't know who's going to get the ball. And we saw, I mean, Boston had 7 or 8 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell had 5 or 6, and Miles had 11. So that's
Hurts had quite a few himself.
Hurts had 15 or something.
Yeah,
I think so. Hurts was a good pickup
for sure.
Thank you very much on that one.
Also snagged AJ Brown off a trade as well.
Yeah, got AJ Brown from trade. But
yeah,
I mean, just with the ball distribution, you just don't know where it's going. But yeah, I mean,
if you're at the 1, it's a 97% chance it's going to Hurts.
Right? Yeah. No, I mean, QB sneak. What are you gonna do? NFL's trying to shut it down, but we'll see.
Yeah. What is the? I guess. I mean, Eagles Twitter is probably livid about that being even talked about. What are the most recent things that they've said? Have you heard anything about that or no?
Yeah, last I heard, it was just being discussed that it was a play that needed to be removed. Basically, the push, not the
Mhm.
quarterback sneak, but the push from behind.
Yeah.
It needed to be removed. I think it's malarkey, but I mean,
I mean, the whole game's
anyone
based
can run it.
on.
Anyone
Yeah.
can run it, right? I mean,
Mhm.
just because the Eagles are the best at doing it shouldn't mean it's not.
Time to ban it.
Should,
Yeah.
I mean, get you an offensive lineman that can get lower than Kelsey. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to do. If the defenders can push, the linebackers come in, they push the defensive line forward.
Yeah.
Well, why can't it go both ways, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's like, then it's like, oh, well, it's not flashy. And it's like, well, what happens when Hurts fake quarterback sneaks and rolls out and, tosses it to Kelsey in the back of the end zone? There's plays off of it.
Yeah.
That could be flashy if you're, quote unquote, looking for that. But no, I mean, I think it's exciting. I mean, for me, of course, because I felt like every time they ran it, it was going to work. But
Mhm.
you knew it was coming, right?
Oh yeah.
All 11 guys on both sides of the ball knew it was about to happen, and
They
let's
didn't
see,
stop it.
let's see you stop it. Just let's see it. And not a very many people could. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
The 49ers game, NFC Championship, pretty confident about that one
Yeah, very
going
confident.
into it.
Very confident. Yeah, like I said, it was about week 4 on, bar the last 2 weeks of the season, or bar the Saints the Giants game without Hurts.
Yeah.
I was confident, just confident. Regardless of Purdy getting hurt, Philly's taking that one home.
I think so too.
I think maybe it's a closer game, sure.
I think you said they're going to win by 20.
Yeah. I said that, yeah.
Came to fruition.
No, yeah. I mean, not exactly the way I thought it would, but I mean, the defense couldn't stop the offense. I mean, the whole thing was the 49ers defense is so good. They couldn't stop Philly offense still, regardless of Purdy being hurt or not,
49ers, I think, got pretty unlucky, though, in that first. I think Bosa gets clipped on a return or something of the sort.
Yeah, by his own guy.
49ers had a linebacker that got hurt at some point as well. I mean, the game was over in the first quarter. That
Yeah.
as a neutral, that was an awful game to watch.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
but
it wasn't a competition. It was just
no
Eagles
on the clock
passing their way
out.
through.
Yeah. How quickly can we get through this without getting hurt?
I was like, going into that game, I had Eagles by probably 14.
Yeah.
At least a 10 to 14, at least a 2-score game, in my opinion, even with Purdy being healthy. I just think they had more better
game changers.
Yeah, more game changers, more, I don't know, just better overall team. And
yeah,
they were just on a roll, and I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a fair, that's a more fair guess than 20 plus. But yeah, I mean, just Eagles were just loaded. I mean, they were the team to beat this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just raw, talent wise, right? No
one defense is pretty.
No one can really match their talent. So it was just, for me, I wasn't stressing. I thought I enjoyed a little bit of the Eagles pregame and during game fun they were having at Joey Bosa. I don't think you guys saw that.
Oh yeah,
on Twitter.
Where he's getting hassled by the fans.
Yeah, him getting a little hassled walking into the stadium. And
I have enough money to pay for it.
Yeah, getting under it a little bit. I enjoy that. That's just good fun.
Good banter for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna be walking in there, you've got to know that someone is going to give you something.
You're walking into the Eagles' nest, man. That's You if you ain't wearing green, you do not. It don't matter who you are. If you're not wearing green, it's Eagles fans are notorious for being ruthless, and
Yeah.
I mean that's to a certain extent that's how it should be. I mean
Hmm.
you're walking into someone else's home.
Yeah.
You're not welcome there.
Yeah.
And that's just what you have to. That's just what you have to know when you go to an opposing game stadium when fans are passionate. It's like KC. It's like I know I'm going to the Eagles Chiefs game next year. I think some of the lads are gonna go to that, and I know I'm ready to hear the chirping because
Mhm.
I mean it's
That's
gonna
what
come.
sports is.
It's gonna
right?
come. I mean that's just the way it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, it's good fun.
And then going into the Super Bowl,
Yeah, pain.
um, how
Max Payne.
how confident were you going into that game?
How confident was I going to that game? I
Yes.
was 100% confident.
I
My
was not.
my confidence never wavered
Sure.
all season. Like I said, there was never a moment in that 2 weeks where I was like, oh, what if they lose?
Yeah,
What
our
can they
chat got pretty
lose?
quiet, and I think it was because everyone was nervous as all get out,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, we got 9 Chiefs fans
Yeah,
and 1 Eagles. Well, sorry, 8, maybe 7. A Bucks fan, a Ravens fan, and an Eagles fan.
yeah.
7 other Chiefs
Definitely one
fans.
sided.
It was heavy in one direction. Not a lot of chirping going on from the Chiefs fans.
No,
I
I
mean,
think
I think to be fair, I really only watched the Chiefs last year. Saw highlights of different teams, but I'm watching the highlights here last night, and I think if I had watched everything, I would have been more nervous than what I was. Um, but I mean, to be fair, I was thinking like, I mean, listen to Nick Wright. Anyone can get pumped up. Listen to Nick Wright if you're a Chiefs fan, and I thought it was gonna be a good game. To be fair, I did not think it was going to be the 10, 15 point smacking that you had talked about. But the field really that changed the whole game. You have 2 years to figure this out. You can't do it, and that's what you put out. You know
yeah,
that
no,
was dreadful. It changed the game.
they the NFL should be ashamed of what they put out there. That was a bad field. And the fact that they came out and said, "Well, yeah, we've been working on it for 2 years. This new grass, that's awesome." It's like, dude, you like, I don't know. That was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Both teams had a play on it, so
yeah,
you
that's fair.
can't make an excuse one way or another. I think it definitely favored the Chiefs' style,
Mhm.
being that our edge rushing was so explosive. And then you go back and watch, and they're on the ground every play because they're slipping and sliding. Maybe they could have found a better cleat. I don't know. I think I heard Jason say after the game that he wasn't having a problem with his footing, so maybe just sorting that out the best they could
Mhm.
have helped a little bit. But yeah, just that was an embarrassing field.
Yeah,
You
Brian, you
saw
talked
it.
about being. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, yeah, you saw it from both teams slipping. Travis slipping out of his breaks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him slip probably 3 times. I was like, good, good, stay down.
I forget who.
Stay down.
I forget what sport pundit it was, but he said there was one play where there was like 8 dudes that were like on the ground from slipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, not ideal for sure.
Yeah.
Brian, you talked about being pretty nervous before that game. What matchups were you most concerned about?
Keeping Hurts in the pocket.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of stuff they run, I feel like he's always looking to throw first, and then if you put 7 in coverage, you only blitz 4. When you're only blitzing 4 against that O line, you're not gonna get to him that often. So if you didn't find anything in that zone or in the coverage, I was worried about him taking off, and I said he had a couple of those, especially that 4th and 5 one where he took it down to like the 15 or something. Essentially, that play was my nightmare going into the game. Him doing that continuously. But he didn't run as much as I thought he would. he actually slung the ball more than I thought he would. So
300 yards, right?
300 plus yards, just throwing dimes. I don't know how many dimes he had. The best one, in my opinion, was the one to Goddard on that 3rd and 12. And
Heck of a throw.
I forget who was on the under. I think it was Snead, and then you had Thornhill or Reed over the top, and
it was perfect.
He fit that into the smallest of holes that you could fit that into, and in my opinion, everyone was like, "Oh, he bobbled it. He didn't catch it." And in my opinion, that was a catch. In my opinion,
I
it really
agree,
wasn't. Yeah. I feel like people are making a lot of plays out of the refs on calls. I feel like most of the calls are pretty good. Obviously, you have that last one with a minute 30 left. That's gonna leave a sour taste in your mouth, especially if you're an Eagles fan. I didn't like it, but at the same time, it was. But they didn't call it the whole game, and I feel like that was going on during the whole game. So, just the timing of it was weird. Other than that, I feel like all the other challenges or reviews were handled correctly. I know that was that Sanders or Smith that fumbled that one, but they called it Sanders. They called that he didn't have no catch or whatever. Yep. I was happy with that. It didn't look like he made the move. Obviously, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he had 2 steps down." Okay, the rule is 2 steps and make a move out of it. Essentially, he got hit right as he caught it both feet down. And it just popped out. Other than the last one on Juju and Bradbury, I felt like the refereeing was pretty good. But obviously, fans are going to have biases and just complain about every call. But
it's kind of the problem that we had the whole year, though, right? I mean, reffing was bad. I mean, that's why they're talking about making it just a profession of refs. There were a lot of dreadful calls last year. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, the referees kind of marred the big game when it was an absolute. I mean, everyone was slinging, so it was a lot of fun to watch. I think I'm kind of peeved. I hate it that the MVP is seemingly always on the winning team because I think Hurts easily was the best player in that game.
Yeah, I think it's the definition of MVP. That is what most valuable player was Mahomes because he won the game, right?
Yeah,
I think it's fair. But if we're gonna say the best player in the game, whatever you call that trophy, I mean, leaps and bounds was Hurts.
Well, yeah,
it can't be.
Sorry,
I mean, after he fumbled that one, where he for the fumble 6 to Bolton.
Yeah.
I think it was like a lot of people were like, "Oh no," like that would rattle anyone, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure,
especially a first-time Super Bowl player. But the way he bounced back the next drive, going 80 yards down the field, slinging it, they called up a couple runs. They dialed up a couple runs for him, just get his confidence going, and just shrugged it off like it never happened.
Yeah.
I think that kid is. Nothing's ever going to phase that kid. I mean, his story is incredible.
Yeah.
Going back to Bama, of course, everyone knows him getting benched in the finals to Tua, of course. Yep. And then him sticking around for a whole nother year in Alabama, knowing he wasn't going to play. I don't know many, starting quarterbacks for college football, top 5, top 10 program football that would stick around, knowing that they could go start anywhere else.
Now they have that new portal rule. You can transfer and play right away.
Yeah.
That would have helped him out. He would have gotten
straight to.
I bet he would have went to Oklahoma for that 1 year, then left a year earlier.
That's
just kind of the sucky thing about that. But now it's kind of a free for all transfer portal wise. But
everyone just goes wherever they want.
Going back to
whoever's giving the most money,
the MVP thing. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of like the regular season award. I mean, obviously, Mahomes got the MVP, but you could put it's. I feel like the MVP in the regular season is always going to be a quarterback. That's just how
the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson had a shout if he. I mean, if he
Well,
snags the.
he got offensive MVP.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things where they need to change the ruling on it because the MVP is not technically the best player in the entire season. It's more who was the best quarterback, who would put up the best stats quarterback wise. But then going back off your opinion of Hurts winning MVP in the Super Bowl, or should have,
Mhm.
don't disagree that he played better than Mahomes, but at the same time, you got to look at the game plan, time of possession. Eagles went in smart, chewed the clock. I think they had
Mhm.
12 minutes more possession. And then you also have the picks or the fumble 6 that takes an extra possession away from Mahomes. So it kind of
Yep.
skews the stats
Sure.
a little bit for sure. But Hurts, if the Eagles win that game, Hurts obviously MVP. But yeah, again, it's just the way it is. It's got to go to the winning team. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's fair. I think it's fair as well. And yeah, echoing what you said earlier about the reffing is, I think they called a reasonably good game throughout. I think for me, I don't like to blame the refs for the game. It's a loser's mentality. So I never do that. It doesn't matter if I didn't blame the refs in Washington with the calls they had at the end of that game. And I'm not going to blame it in the Super Bowl either because it doesn't ever come down
It's
to
more than
one
just
play.
one play that makes the game, right?
It looks like it, from the outsider's perspective, because, but it's just, it was
Kind of discredits the rest of the game. I mean,
it was a hold.
Yeah.
You saw the jersey get tugged. That's a hold by the rule,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it. Was it soft? Yeah. Is the timing of that call horrible?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, of course. It's like, but then where do you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're going to allow for discretion from the refs, it's like, it's just such a gray area at that point. If there's going to be discretion, because I'm sure in the back of their mind, they're like, holy shit, it's like, if we call this penalty, it's the game,
Yeah.
But if we don't call this penalty, they're kicking a field goal. They're kicking a field goal, and it's Hurts with a minute and a half, and
that's the game.
Hurts with a minute and a half. I'm sorry,
and 2 timeouts.
I'm sorry, it's over for the Chiefs. Eagles are going to go down and score a tutty.
The way they were running that game, for sure.
That's just facts.
Yeah.
But there can't be gray area in the refs, and the whole replay thing where you slow it down so much, where it's like the Miles Sanders one. It's like when they slowed it down, it does look like more like a fumble than it was, but in real time, it was like catch,
bang,
bang.
Yeah,
clearly incompletion.
Yeah.
So I think they got a lot of work to do, in the officiating crew wise, but
on the flip side of that, the Goddard catch, real time, it looks like he bobbles it, doesn't get that foot down. But if you slow it down,
that's true.
You see him get repossession and have both feet down. So it's kind of a.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Unfortunately, it goes both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never going to be perfect. I know a lot of people think it should be perfect. One of the guys in our group chat thinks it should be perfect.
Well,
but it's not going to ever be perfect. And
the only way
humans are infallible.
The only way to make that perfect, in my
Not
opinion,
infallible.
which would totally just ruin the game, in my opinion, as well. You have a ref for every player on the field.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's
you're watching 22 penalties.
You're watching all 22. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, you got left tackle. That's the only guy I want you to watch. He hold or does he get a illegal hands to the face?
Can you imagine how many penalties would be in a game, though?
Oh yeah, I mean,
think about
it. Plenty, because they miss a lot.
Yeah.
They give a lot go. But if you wanted it to be perfect,
true,
that would be the way to do it. But you'd also have 6-hour games. So
true.
Yeah,
that sounds awful.
Sounds like the the KU Arkansas game. 48 fouls called in that game. Who wants to watch that? These humans are the epitome of superhumans. They're superheroes. we want to be able to see them do what they do, and
Yeah.
having having the stripes coming in and officiate the game like that, ugh,
Yeah,
you would lose a lot of money pretty quickly. No one would
Oh
watch
yeah,
that
for sure.
at
for
all.
sure, for sure.
Sneaking away from the from last season from you guys, in regards to free agency, I know you guys had like 25 on the list here this year.
Yeah, a lot of
Made
question marks.
had to make some big decisions. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think right now I'm feeling okay. Feeling okay. It's been pretty stressful for Eagles.
As it
Yeah.
You lose
Obviously,
Hargrave,
Hargrave, the grave digger. He got paid 21 mil a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
yeah, guaranteed
That's
40 million.
that's a lot of money. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
But he deserved it. I mean,
Yeah,
he's absolute dog this year, and he's been playing well for the last 3 years. We just can't afford to pay him.
So-
I feel like they drafted who's the Georgia D tackle?
Jordan Davis.
Jordan
Jordan Davis. I
Davis.
feel like they drafted him last year,
Yep.
knowing that this is probably Hargrave's last year. So kind of
Yep.
a replacement beforehand instead of waiting this year to do it.
Hopefully he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get some more snaps next year for sure.
Real smart by Howie there was picking up Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean.
Yeah.
Both Jordan Davis played a little bit more than Dean,
Yeah.
but what they learned this year was leaps and bounds, being able to learn from these guys, these veterans. That year 2 should be hopefully
seamless.
amazing for him. Because Jordan Davis is a big dude.
Oh yeah.
big dude. So
hopefully he keeps those feet healthy.
Yeah, it's good to have
Yeah.
2 starters in house, ready to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Chiefs. You kind of playing for Thornhill to leave, and we drafted Cook to kind of take over the reins there.
Yeah.
It's always smart to draft for future years when you know guys are going to get the bag and you're not going to be able to pay everyone. So
yeah, because when you got that guy at quarterback, he's got to get paid.
Yeah,
I mean you know about that, and we're finding out about that now. And it's like all these teams with the question marks at quarterback, and you get one that's right, you hold on for dear life.
Oh, yeah,
you don't let that go. It's not. This is a quarterback-driven league, and it's going to continue to be one. And
I think I think he's going to get that close or same as Mahomes' deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to work out. I know a lot of like the franchises are looking at like 3-year deals now. They don't want to give that. They don't want to give that 5-year deal with the guaranteed. With a huge guarantee, they want to get 3 years. 3 years. Whereas, so it's a little bit interesting. I don't think we're going to find out until probably the summer on what his contract's going to look like, but he's going to get a lot.
I think Spot Track has his market value at like 45 million.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
I mean, it could be higher than that, to be fair. I think one thing that watching those, I guess I only watched the 6-7 of the highlights of the Eagles game here last night. I do think he's got to be smarter about some of these tackles, these hits that he takes. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's the issue with the mobile quarterback, right? That's always been the whole thing is how many hits are you taking?
He's a decent sized guy,
dude.
but
he's a big dude. He can take a hit. I'm not too stressed about it, honestly.
No,
I think we'll see him take less and less hits every year, kind of like Mahomes did. Mahomes took a lot of hits early on.
Yeah, he's gonna smart enough for sure. Watch out for the big ones, and obviously he's probably got 60, 70 pounds on Lamar, so. I think that's a big difference there, and he's probably got a couple inches in height. But again, you gotta watch out how many hits you're taking. I think that's just a grow over time thing where you're like, is it really worth it to take this big hit or slide down 2 yards in front of where I would have ended up? Especially in the regular season, you don't really want to risk it unless you need to like make the playoffs or something. Like, I understand him going for it, but when you're having the season you guys are 13-0, or when you guys essentially know, hey, the East is ours, we're going to be the 1 seed, blah, blah, blah. Kind of limit your hits is what I would look out for. But that
That's
just comes
fair.
with over time, being a veteran, and I think he'll be fine. So he runs a lot different than Lamar does too. So
So
What what big names? I mean, I guess you had Hargrave leave. You had
lost a lot of big players. Yeah,
Isaac left as well.
Hargrave. We lost defensively. We lost Hargrave.
You lost your safeties.
we lost
Epps and
2 starting
CJ.
linebackers with Kaiser White and TJ Edwards. Kaiser was a 1 year that we picked up from Los Angeles. TJ was our 3 years leading tackler. So big loss there. But then that's why we brought Dean in last year.
Yep.
For that reason. So Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, unfortunately, I know I loved him in the 1 year we had him. He's awesome. He's fun to watch. There's not a lot of safeties like that in the league anymore.
And for a 5th round too.
Yeah, absolute steal.
That's a steal in my opinion.
I think there's a lot of question marks as to what was going on with the negotiations. From what I'm seeing, that he was offered 3-year, $8 million, 24 mil, so $8 million each year.
Why did he offer the same thing?
Which is a little bit lower than what he was hoping to get. And then ultimately took a 1-year, $8 million to play like a prove yourself contract again.
Why didn't he just do that with the Eagles?
Yeah,
did they not match him?
I think it was an agency thing. Eagles chose not to match. Yeah, so I think whatever happened with negotiations left a bad taste in the Eagles' mouth with the agency, because they chose not to match that deal for 1 year and $8 million. So and that's business, man. I mean, we wanted to re-sign you. The market was fair. I mean, he was looking for Bates money. Bates got paid.
Yeah,
big time. I think what did he get, 12 mil? Or
I thought he got more. I thought he was 14, 16.
Maybe, yeah.
I would have put CJ in the 10 to 12 range.
Yeah,
at least double digits for sure.
The market was lower this year.
Yeah.
Julian Love got 9,
6 something.
I think he got 9.
No.
So.
Yeah, market just was not good this year for anybody.
The market was a little bit off from what they thought it was going to be. So we said, hey, fine, we're going to re-sign Bradbury.
Oh yeah, and then Slay.
Yeah, so it's like, I think Slay was probably always going to get re-signed. I think Bradbury got signed because CJ didn't, if I were to speculate.
Yeah.
So not the worst thing. 2 lockdown all-pro corners for another 3 years. That's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
Especially with the loss of some of those guys up front, with Hargrave and obviously Sue and Linval Joseph we picked up mid-season to help kind of plug the holes.
Left by Davis.
It was a 1-year deal for them. So yeah, defensively, I think we'll be all right. We're still going to be looking in the draft for safety. I did see there's some Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans floating around. That wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Titans want him to restructure, and he said pass on that. So we'll see what happens there.
If he goes to Philly, that's going to be awesome. I think AJ Brown trying to get him to come over.
Trying to lure.
Yeah, Jalen Mills just got released from the Patriots. He was a hometown Eagles guy for about 4 years. There's some talks maybe he'll come back for cheap. That wouldn't be a bad pickup at safety. And and we got a lot of picks in the draft this year, including the number 10 pick. So trading down isn't the worst idea either. There's some good safeties in there in the draft as well.
For sure.
So defensively, I think we're going to be all right. I'm not too worried about it. And offensively, we did lose Sayamalu, Isaac, our starting guard, who's an absolute stud. He got paid big time as well. He went to Pittsburgh, I believe.
3 years, $24 million.
But and Sanders as well.
Lose Miles Sanders too.
Yeah, Miles Sanders. We knew we were going to lose him. because Eagles don't pay running backs.
No,
So
you
No
can
one
plug-
does, to
you
be
can
fair.
play- you can plug
It's a
anybody
plug.
in that offense. Yeah.
Yeah. No offense to Miles. I think he's a great running back. He's one of the best running backs in the league. But
Picking up Rashad Penny pretty cheap though is not a bad
really
shot, I
excited
wouldn't
about
think.
that. Obviously, injuries the big question mark with him.
Yep.
Hasn't played nearly enough football to deserve a big contract. So that's why he's out there looking for a fresh start in Philly. But dude runs with a force, and I wouldn't mind having that in Philly. So we'll see if he stays healthy. I think he'll be a real nice acquisition for us.
Well, and I think probably one of the biggest signings, if you can call it that, is keeping Jason Kelsey out of retirement, right?
Yeah, of course, Jason Kelsey. I think.
I mean, he could have chilled on New Heights all day long. And
Yeah,
just been
they're
all
killing
right,
it. Yeah, I think if the Eagles win that Super Bowl, I'd like to think maybe he hangs it up.
Yeah.
But I think the feeling around that team is like that they're going to be back. They want to be back.
Mhm.
They're planning on being back next year.
Yeah.
And Kelsey
They have a chip on the shoulder.
And Kelsey doesn't want to miss it. I think that he wants to be there for it. I mean, we had already drafted his replacement last year. So I think he might move to the guard position.
Well, it's just like Dickerson. He moved to left guard. He was a center in college, and that's worked out perfectly. So
yeah, so I think we'll be all right. We do need to plug a lot of depth. We lost a lot of depth this year, so we'll be definitely looking for that in the draft. And then maybe a wide receiver 3. Quez didn't get it done this year for us. He had a big drop in the Super Bowl, and he just wasn't that guy we needed him to be this year. So, looking in the draft, I think there's definitely a lot of receivers coming up. Jackson Smith possibly could be there, or trading down from 10 isn't the worst thing either. So
a couple extra picks,
yeah. So there's not a lot of Super Bowl teams that could say they have 2 first-round picks and a top 10 pick in the next year. So that's it's really primed them to be in a good position going into next year with some cheap rookies. So
yeah, and I think that's the name of the game. You get a good get a good core, and then you got to draft well. I mean, Chiefs have been pretty blessed these past couple of years in regards to that as well. I mean, you gotta keep the youngsters, offload them when you can, because there's always going to be someone else that's maybe a little bit less fortunate, doesn't necessarily have the ability to, they don't have a Mahomes or a Hurts, a Burrow, Allen, those kind of guys that are, I think we talked about it, Brian and I, the other day. If you're creating a puzzle, Hurts, Mahomes, Burrow, that's half the puzzle, and you can plug and play. You don't have to pay a running back absorbent amount of money. So, Brian, what are you thinking in regards to the NFC? I mean, Eagles probably going to be favorites coming out of here, but which other teams are you looking for in the NFC?
For sure, I feel like it's Eagles division or the conference to lose. Again, if you look at the quarterback play out of the NFC, it's a lot different than it is the AFC. AFC, you got if you're doing top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, 8 are probably in the AFC, and I would say 2 are in the NFC.
Who's the second in the NFC? I legitimately don't know.
I mean, now that I think about it, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have argued Dak-ish.
Dak would be the closest, but I wouldn't put him top 10 either.
I mean, I guess you could have said Rodgers, but Rodgers is gone now as well.
Now I'm thinking about it, it might be 9-1.
It very well could be.
Hurts, I think Hurts is for sure top 3 quarterback in the league. Between him and Burrow for number 2 spot, in my opinion. I think Hurts brings more to the table with his running ability, so I would put him at 2 and Burrow at 3. But yeah,
there's not much.
There's NFC. I mean, especially in the NFC South, you got Baker, you got Carr,
Trask.
No,
could
Baker's
probably-
probably gonna, Baker's
You
probably
could
gonna
probably
start
You could probably slot Carr in the top 10 at number 10. I don't think that's unreasonable. I think he had a bad season. I think he's better than what he put out this season.
I would say top 15 for
there. I
Carr.
would definitely put him top
He's
15.
in the top
I
half.
can't put. I can't. I can't.
You put 8 other quarterbacks over him from
For
the
sure.
AFC?
Um,
We got
I mean,
Mahomes,
Chiefs, Chargers,
Burrow.
Bills.
Herbert, Lamar. That's 5.
T-Law, maybe.
Oh, T-Law for sure. That's
1 year
6.
proven.
For sure.
Yeah.
T-Law.
Okay, 1 year.
Deshaun, if he can get back to what he was playing.
Deshaun was a shell of himself this year, huh?
He was not good. I hadn't played in 2 years. I'm gonna be terrible at
yeah,
my
to
job
be
too if I
fair.
haven't played in 2
To be
years.
fair, yeah.
But if he doesn't bounce back this year,
Yeah.
No, yeah, if that's bounce back,
Ouch.
that's definitely.
To be fair, he couldn't even get in the practice facility until week 11, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
can only do. I mean, it's
Could
like
throw a
same
ball.
kind of thing
go
that's.
outside the backyard and throw a ball for sure. 'Cause it didn't look
I
like
mean,
he's thrown a ball in 2 years either, because he was
Yeah,
throwing
that's
some
true.
ducks.
I would definitely put Tua up there.
Yeah,
Tua, if he'd stay healthy,
Tua if he can stay healthy, hopefully.
That's 7.
Knock on wood.
So
it's up in the air. I mean,
It's close. It's
he's close. He's
Yeah.
close.
I would say 8-2 or 7-3, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
But NFC,
yeah.
it's far and away hurts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
hmm
Top tier, and then you skip a tier, and then you're probably into the pretty good
Dak.
Dak.
Yeah.
Daniel
Dak's
Jones was
Dak
average.
is ass, as we say in Philly. Dak is ass. They Cowboys re-signed Cooper Rush. They're not ready to let him go after what they've seen from them two.
But yeah,
Uh,
NFC
yeah.
South, there's nobody.
No,
Could be getting some of those young rookies though.
it could be fun
See
to
what-
watch. Carolina
could be
is
fun to
loading up.
watch.
I still don't know. I don't really
I
understand.
don't think
I
Carolina's
guess.
loading up at all. They just
That's
traded-
anyone's division right now.
Yeah. Well, in
that's
free
the
agency, I would
Saints to lose.
say.
That's the
yeah.
Saints to lose for sure.
You think?
Adding Carr
I don't
over
know.
Dalton and
I don't
Winston
know.
and not
They-
really losing anybody on defense. Yeah.
I don't know. They're still average though.
I mean,
Who they got a
Kamara's not going to
receiver?
play for the first 6.
Olave?
Olave.
Love it.
And who?
That's about it.
That's it. They
You
don't have
trust-
tight end?
You trust in Ritter in Atlanta with
No, I don't.
no.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. They draft a rookie.
and then Carolina.
I
You
mean,
don't know
Carolina's gonna go
how.
out there and get who? CJ Stroud?
Yeah,
I think
CJ
I think
Stroud,
that
okay.
I think that's
what
their
it sounds
guy,
like,
but
right? Yeah.
you got an old Adam Thielen, and then who else
It
do you
just-
have on that offense?
Uh,
You just
Miles
add
Sanders, right?
Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a lot of the load.
I don't know. Then-
It's curious. I think it's a toss up more than a given to the Saints, in my opinion. But
Yeah, that's
We'll
probably
see.
fair.
I
I
mean-
would say in between that.
who's
Where-
in Tampa?
where-
Is it Baker in Tampa?
Yeah, I think
Baker
should be there.
Trask.
Hey, Baker season.
God.
Baker's back.
NFC East is always obviously Eagles, Cowboys, Giants. I mean, they made the
I think-
playoffs. They were nothing special. I mean,
I
feel
think
like-
the Giants are going to be bad next year, if I were to guess.
I mean,
I
they,
don't see them rerunning that ride.
I mean, they didn't really rerun anything. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
were they the 4 seed the year before in New York?
No,
No.
Taylor's saying run it back
This-
next year. He doesn't
this
think they're
year.
able to run it back.
No,
next
I
year.
get that. I'm saying the year before, where they finished in 4th, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Because they had Thibodeau 5th
That's what I mean.
overall.
I think they were a one and done. I think that was off. I think this
Well,
was
the reason
season
why,
was an anomaly.
it's an anomaly because they were playing the 4th, fourth
The worst
seed
team.
schedule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were playing they were playing bottom feeders essentially.
Yeah.
When they got smacked by the Eagles.
I don't
So,
think they're going to be there again.
Yeah.
Commanders are starting Sam Howell. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen there?
Uh,
They got a lot of issues in the franchise, let alone
Yeah.
with the players.
NFC
Yeah.
West, Seattle creep up on the 49ers?
Niners are stacked, bro.
Niners are stacked, but again, it comes
Niners
down to
are
quarterback
stacked.
play.
They don't have a
It's- yeah.
quarterback.
It's who's going to quarterback. Yeah.
Well, who they just signed? They signed a veteran.
Was that today?
No, that was earlier in the week or last week. They signed a veteran. I forget who it was.
Oh, Mike White.
Is that
No,
who
he
it
went
was?
to Miami.
I'll find out for you.
I'm blanking.
I don't know. If you don't have a quarterback, I don't know what we're doing here. You know.
Yeah.
I guess so.
They signed Sam Darnold.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Nothing special, but again, you need a halfway decent quarterback. You can't do it with
How is Sam
Johnson.
Darnold only 26 years old? I feel like he's
Poor guy.
been. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Rams are tanking.
Yeah. Arizona
see-
doesn't have a quarterback for the first eight weeks.
You don't think the Rams can look all right this year?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
Are we sure Stafford's going to play?
Stafford's
I don't-
arm. Stafford's
I don't
arm
feel-
is
I don't
shot.
feel bad about them. I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah, I think they'll get third. They'll be ahead of the Cardinals. That's about it.
I
think
NFC North is real curious. I
If,
think
if Rodgers actually does get traded, which I mean, all signs point to that. I feel like that division is Lions.
the Lions to
Vikings.
lose.
I think it's the Lions to lose, in my opinion.
Vikings don't really have a good defense, though, right?
Lions loaded up on
yeah,
D.
I mean,
They got
got
CJ.
CJ, yeah.
Or sorry,
Cam-
Vikings don't necessarily have a good defense, though, do they?
No, they do
Their
not.
defense is terrible.
So
Lions also added Cam Sutton from Pittsburgh to be the number 2 corner,
Yep.
opposite Okuda.
Yep.
You got Aiden Hutchinson coming in year 2.
he's
He had
good. I like
real
him a
year.
lot.
And then, I mean, they don't have that, oh, look at me quarterback, but Goff.
I think Goff is good.
He can get it done.
Goff is
Yeah.
solid. Goff is
Yeah.
solid. And they got a lot of Jameson Williams going to be healthy this year.
Yep, another weapon.
They got Amon-Ra, who's just been a stud the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And they'll have DeAndre Swift and run the
Montgomery?
ball.
And David Montgomery, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
1-2 punch.
You guys don't like the Bears at all?
No.
Wait a minute
I mean,
now.
They could be
Yeah.
curious.
They can be competitive.
Yeah.
They can be competitive.
That
They
defense
still
needs
got
a
like
lot of
40. They still got like 40 million left in cap space, don't they?
Yeah, they got plenty
work.
of money.
True,
and they
but
got
that
plenty of
defense
cap
needs
space.
a lot of work. I mean, you fix some
Yes.
offensive issues with signing a couple offensive linemen, then you obviously get the DJ Moore, but
They've
They
made
still
some
have
moves.
$41 million in cap space.
can you name
They could-
anybody on their defense, though?
Just signed TJ Edwards.
Oh,
That's true.
okay.
I think that
Dang it.
I think that signing, that TJ Edwards signing is. I mean, he's a hometown guy,
got,
Chicago guy,
Tremaine Edwards, sorry.
and Tremaine Edmonds.
And they got
is another
Brisker.
good one.
Brisker looked really good this year.
I think they
They
need
did
to,
rookie
for
year.
sure, load up on some defensive guys in the draft, but them trading back to 9,
yes.
I think they're for sure going to go left tackle, shore up Fields' left side, and
Offensive line and defensive players for sure.
yeah,
Definitely. Definitely where they're
that
lacking.
it's going to be the same issue as, I mean, Grant Hurts and the Eagles were what 9-8 last year.
Yeah, 9-8. Yeah.
Bears obviously weren't 9-8, but it's going to be one of those things. He's on the same trajectory as Hurts. Is can he finally figure it out and
Yeah.
prove everyone wrong? His Fields' main issue is he sees that first read, it's not there. He's automatically running. So
Was
see
that
if he
because of
can-
his line though?
I mean, yes, his line was trash, but if you look
He
at a
don't
lot
have
of
time.
if you look at a lot of some of the plays, he definitely takes off a little too early on some of them.
Yeah, he's
but,
running before he even looks sometimes.
So
Yeah, I
that's-
think it's lines to lose. I think they're going to be a really fun team to watch. JMO, hopefully he can stay healthy. Amon-Ra. I thought it was really curious them trading Hawkinson. I didn't really get that.
weird, very weird.
Yeah, strange.
That just doesn't make any
in
sense. to me.
division.
In division.
Yeah.
Very strange.
But I think if you're the Vikings, I mean, obviously JJ Hawkinson. They re-signed Madison. I think Cook is Cook a free agent or no?
Oh, he's still there.
Still there. He didn't really do anything last year, but their defense is so bad. Their
And they're
defense
always
is
going to be
terrible.
they're always going to be capped by Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins
he's
is
not-
not him, and he will never be him. So
One of those other issues is you need to find a quarterback that's going to put you over the top. You can't just be paying these guys $40 million, and I mean Daniel
to
Jones,
hang out and be
Daniel
average.
Jones in 45 or whatever his contract was. Is that really
Pretty
going to put you
disturbing.
over the edge and make you a Super Bowl contender? No. Will
never.
you maybe make the playoffs? Possibly, but
Yeah.
overpaying
so.
for quarterbacks has kind of been the history of the last couple of years. So
I guess the whole argument though is just like, where do you turn to, right?
yeah,
Where do you find that next guy?
I mean, you kind of have to pay him,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Because you got the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the league, and then you got the rest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a pretty big gap.
Very.
There's a pretty big gap. I mean, even top 4.
I mean,
Burrow,
when's the last time?
Hurts, Mahomes, and Allen, and then you got everyone else right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
When is the last time an average quarterback won the Super Bowl?
We talked about this the other day. I was trying to go back to think.
I mean, you probably got to go back to the Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Foles.
But that was like, I don't know if you can really count that because it was like a dream team. It was like a dream thing. Backup quarterback,
Because that was Wentz's MVP year that he would have won
when he got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I don't know if you can really count that. But yeah, that would be the closest one I could think of just off the top of my head.
Better than that, Trent Dilfer. Maybe
Trent Dilfer's always in the mind. Yep.
Yeah. Trent Dilfer will always be there.
Yeah.
He's the OG. He is
2000 baby.
Yeah, he's the OG game manager.
Oh, I guess I would do a Flacco.
Yeah. To be fair, Flacco kind of slinged it, but
Flacco's better than
he kind of slinged it, bro. To be fair,
he slinged it that playoffs. Yes, he's
Eli Manning maybe before that, right?
Yeah. He had a good playoffs as well, but like
I mean,
I'm just going off like season stats and like season. They're average guys. And, Eli, Flacco.
Yes, it's been a long time.
It's because you've had the Mannings, the Bradys, the Russell Wilsons.
I mean, Brady's won half the Super Bowls in the last fucking. It's been Mahomes or Brady, so
yeah, for sure.
I mean, then you got Manning, you got Aaron Rodgers, and then
he hasn't won forever.
He won though.
Yeah, that's true. To end it off today, I think we're going to go fantasy football. What? Who are you going to be searching for? Maybe the same tactic that you went last year, not your go-to.
Hey, to be fair, like I said, the original tactic was not to draft all Eagles. That was but my first round pick is Hurts.
Is Hurts?
I think a lot of people are still saying don't draft a quarterback with your first pick, but
this is in a redraft league, a one-off league, right? Not a dynasty or anything like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're just talking, just if it fresh draft, you got to take Hurts first round. I think that's just the truth, man.
You take him 1 overall?
I would take him 1 overall. Yeah,
okay.
I'd take him 1 overall. I mean, who are you going to take over him? Jetta?
I think
Mahomes,
I go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I think quarterback is going to keep shooting up on that list, especially mobile quarterbacks. Man, those rushing points.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Insane. Fields for like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
was dropping 40 bombs. Was dropping 40 bombs every week. You know.
Yeah. Where does Fields land at?
I don't know. There's no way he can repeat what he did for those 3 or 4 weeks there. Man, there's just no way. He was running for 150 yards a game.
That felt so good picking him up the week before that happened, and then it was him and Kelsey just carrying the squad for me.
Yeah, I think you take Kelsey number 1. I mean,
yeah.
What was the next highest tight end after Kelsey?
There was like 80 points separating.
It's disturbing.
Separating them.
Disturbingly.
If I have the 9th or 10th pick, for sure I'm going Kelsey.
I
think Mahomes had 370. Josh Allen had 362. Jalen Hurts 355. Lamar Jackson 344. Not even playing. Oh, these are projected.
Okay. I was gonna say that doesn't sound right.
Justin Fields 341.
He averaged 80 points a game.
338. I mean, they even have Deshaun Watson hanging out 310.
I think a lot of people are holding out hope for him. They think if he can return to what he was.
Yeah.
That's a big if, though.
Very big if. Then you got questions like a lot of questions with the Colts. Jonathan Taylor. I know that was a lot of first round picks for number 1 picks for people this year.
Number 1 in our league.
Yeah. That what a bust that was. Yeah, so.
Not good.
I don't know. You just never know.
I think
Cooper
he's gonna have
Kupp got
another
hurt.
rough year.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp got hurt. CMC was
my first round pick, Javonte Williams, dead.
That sucks. Well, and then I think what was your second
Najee
round?
Harris.
Najee Harris? Dead.
Absolutely shell of himself last season.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So you never know. It's all fantasy football is 70% luck, 10%
especially the
skill.
playoffs. Especially the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's more so about consistency. Who's going to put up
20%
15?
matchup?
That's fair.
It's just random. There's no expert.
But gosh,
anyone can get hurt.
Anyone
can have a good game. So
I
love it. Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Anything else you can think of at all, Brian?
Not particular. Tay, appreciate you coming on. Give us a different perspective, and we always want to do not just Chiefs Homer page and videos and stuff. So appreciate you coming on. Give us your insight and good luck next year. And see what you guys come up with. I'd love it.
We'll be there. I'll see if you'll be there.
All right.
How about that?
I love the dance.
Hey, that's fair.
Hey, Eagles Chiefs. When are they playing? In the regular season. You going?
Let's get it. Let's get a group together. Let's go.
Get that tailgate going. Let's get that barbecue rolling.
I'm down.
Oh, gosh.
I'm down to clown.
Sounds good by me.
I'm bringing the full body swoop suit. Eagles mascot.
All right.
Just let them know. No, I ain't doing all that.
Yeah, we may not be. You may not be tailgating.
You're
with
gonna
us
kick me out of the tailgate group. Go Birds.
Oh man.
I'm sure there'll be some traveling fans. I'll find them.
Yeah, they'll be around.
Yeah.
But
good fun.
Anything at all from you, Tay?
No, I'm off season's moving. We're getting.
Yeah.
It won't be long. We got the draft coming up in April 17th.
27th, I think.
27th. So about a month out. Not bad.
Yep.
And then after that,
Union Station.
After that, we got training camp, and we're back in it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't wait.
I think we were talking about doing a draft special, so looking to get a couple other people on here. I think kind of get on that and do some mock drafts maybe for the draft. Also, during the draft, if we got time, just watch it and kind of be surprised and watch the picks go off the board. And I think that'd be kind of fun, especially first round.
Yeah. The reactions.
See everyone's reactions from the get-go. So,
for sure.
Yeah. But
it'll be good.
Great time, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys hopping on, joining us. This is Boyo and The Beard, special guest, Young Pal.
Go Birds.
We'll check you guys later.
Sheesh.